This week's Brain Unlocked video focuses on unleashing your brain's potential through the power of visualization. I often get asked by clients, but how do I visualize? It seems that there is a lot of confusion and myths out there about what the process is when using visualization to achieve your goals. This is an important topic. Get it right and you achieve your goals. Get it wrong and nothing happens. Before showing you how to visualize, so that you can unleash your brain's power and potential, let's take a quick look at a couple of scientific studies that show the power of visualization. Once you understand its power, you'll be much more inclined to use it to guide your success both personally and professionally. In one example, scientists plotted changes in the brain regions that kicked into life as people learned a one-handed, five-finger piano exercise. For 2 hours a day, over 5 days, volunteers practiced this activity. A PET brain scanner then measured the changes in the brain over the 5-day period. These results were compared against a group who mentally imagined themselves performing the same five-finger activity over the 5-day period, and a group that did not practice at all. The results were interesting. The group that did not practice showed no increase in their neural activity. However, the group that practiced the exercise mentally showed similar changes in their brain to the people who had physically performed the exercise. The study proved that mental imagery not only improves performance, it does so by physically changing the brain. In another scientific study, they had people imagine they were running on a treadmill that was going at different speeds. Even though they were not physically moving, their heart and breathing rates increased in direct proportion to the speed of the treadmill they were visualizing. This study shows a direct correlation between visualization and corresponding changes in the physical body. Norman Deutsch, in his book, The Brain That Changes Itself, states that imaging an act and doing it are not as different as they sound. Brain scans show that in action and imagination, many of the same parts of the brain are activated, which is why visualization improves performance. He cites a study in which Dr. Yu and Dr. Cole show that imagining using one's muscles actually strengthens them. The reality is the brain cannot distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. Peak performance athletes have been using the technique of visualization for years. Susie O'Neill, a well-known Australian Olympic swimming champion, used the power of visualization to transform herself from an average swimmer who could never manage to win a race into an 8-medal Olympic champion. In her book Choose to Win, she recalls how she would always run third in her races. Then one day on the starting block, she realised she was defeated even before she jumped in the water. It suddenly dawned on her that she wasn't seeing herself winning, and this was the reason she was losing. She quickly turned this around, and the rest is history. Check out your favourite top sports star, and I'm sure somewhere in their bio there is some evidence that they use the power of visualization. The power of visualization isn't just used to improve performance. I have been using it for years to influence outcomes. I love to push the boundaries on possibilities, and on one such occasion I was surprised by what can actually be achieved when you use the power of visualization. In one example, I was asked to conduct a training session for accountants on communication skills, something I knew they were not interested in and also thought was a waste of time. So I decided to visualize the VP of accounting walking into my office after the training session and saying to me, "I thought I would come down and share some feedback with you about the training session. And what you didn't know was that nobody wanted to attend the training session, thinking it would be a complete waste of time. However, I'm pleased to let you know that everyone not only enjoyed the session, but they also found the content to be extremely useful. Congratulations on a job well done." So I conducted the training, then went back to my office and waited, but nothing happened. At first I was disappointed, but then I shrugged it off. It was just another experiment. However, much to my surprise, the very next morning, the VP of accounting walked into my office and said nearly word for word what I had visualized. Many of my coaching clients use the process of visualization to seal big deals and achieve their goals. The process is so accurate that deals are sealed and money arrives in their bank account on the exact dates that they visualized. Visualization is a very powerful process. There are two ways to visualize: process and outcomes. With the process visualization, you visualize the process you would go through to achieve your goal. Let's say, for example, you were applying for a new job. Using the process method, you would see yourself at the job interview answering all the interviewer's questions perfectly, as well as establishing great rapport and connection with the interviewer. You would basically visualize the whole process of the interview going perfectly. With the outcomes visualization method, you would visualize the outcome or goal being achieved, which in this case is getting the job. So you would visualize yourself signing the contract for the exact amount of money you wanted. I prefer the outcome method for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it is quicker to visualize an outcome than the process. And secondly, visualizing the process doesn't ensure that you will achieve your goal. In order to activate your brain cells, you need to engage all your major senses of sight, sound, feelings, or emotions. Most people make the mistake of just seeing their goal, and this doesn't activate your brain to assist you to achieve it. So using our example of getting that new job, you would imagine and experience yourself as if you were actually in the room signing the contract. You would also create a scene in your mind as if it was actually happening now, and what that would look, sound, and feel like. Often people make the error of looking at the scene as if they were watching a movie. The trick is to experience yourself as the actor on the stage, looking out through your own eyes and engaging with the scene around you. The two best times to visualize your goal is just before going to sleep and when you first awake of a morning. Your brain is more active when you're asleep than when you're awake. Nothing gets transferred into your long-term memory during the day. It all gets transferred when you sleep. Your brain reviews your day and decides based on your thoughts and experiences what is important and relevant, and transfers those experiences into your long-term memory. Keep in mind here, it interprets what it thinks is important and relevant based on how much time and energy you gave to that experience during the day. The reality is you are visualizing all the time, both consciously and unconsciously, and often your visions have more to do with your fears rather than your goals. Therefore, by visualizing your goal just before you fall asleep, using the methods described here, the chances of it going directly into your long-term memory are significantly increased. This also helps to mitigate any fear thoughts you may have experienced throughout the day about your goal from reaching your long-term memory. So what you're really doing is training your brain to think and attract success rather than fear and rejection. When you first wake up of a morning is also a powerful time to visualize, because your brain is in what is referred to as an alpha state, which is a semi-hypnotic state, meaning that your long-term memory is much more receptive to taking in this information. You are also reinforcing your visualization from the night before, because your brain is being programmed to interpret your goal as being important and relevant to you. The more that is accepted into your long-term memory, the less chance there will be that fear and rejection thoughts will enter your head during the day. This is how positive beliefs are formed. Another question I often get asked is, should I include dates in my visualization? Unfortunately, there is no definitive answer on this one. The answer is, it depends on your level of belief and commitment. Remember, the brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and imagined, and the visualization process is about acting as if. So technically, it has already been achieved and setting dates becomes irrelevant. However, some people work really well with setting dates. Strangely enough, these are the people who have very high belief and commitment. The people who don't work well with dates are the ones who have a conscious or subconscious fear about achieving their goals. These people set dates and then count the weeks and days until the goal date. They place enormous pressure on themselves to achieve their goal. Unfortunately, stress shuts down our thinking and reasoning brain, opening up our emotional and fear-based brain. This then sabotages any chance you have of achieving your goals. You can see how fear becomes a vicious circle as well as a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the real secret to visualization and achieving your goals doesn't lie in setting dates, but in belief and commitment. The more you visualize, the stronger your belief becomes, because your brain is developing a new set of brain cells that will make your goal a reality. So set dates if you wish, but don't feel pressured by them, because fear enters to sabotage your plans. If you do set dates and the date isn't achieved, you know the reason why, so don't give up and keep on continuing to visualize. The process works, so stick with it until your belief becomes so strong it manifests itself into your reality. A good technique to use if you want to set dates is to include in your visualization a conversation with another person where you mention the date. Or, if you prefer, see yourself visualizing saying, "Yes, this is exactly the date I visualized to achieve this goal. How awesome is this?" It is like anything, practice makes perfect. What you are really doing here is learning to take back control of your brain. At first this may be difficult because your brain has been in control all these years. It's a little bit like taming a wild horse. But eventually your brain will respond and you will be on the road to creating the life you want. However, in order for this to happen, you need to be consistent and visualize your goals on a daily basis, preferably morning and night. Just as you won't tame the wild horse overnight, you will eventually tame it by consistently working with it each day. Something else you may want to consider if you are new to the process of visualization or secretly fear your goals won't be achieved is to start out with small goals so that you build up your belief in your brain's ability to manifest your goals. Let's now do a quick recap of the visualization process. 1. Decide on a goal or something you want to bring into your life. 2. Ask yourself, what would my goal look like if it was already achieved? 3. Create an image in your mind of your goal as if it has already been achieved. 4. Imagine that you are the actor on the stage and you are experiencing this vision looking out through your own eyes and interacting with the scene around you. Remember to engage all your major senses and see, hear, and feel what it would be like to achieve your goal. 5. Be consistent and imagine your goal being achieved just before falling asleep at night and upon waking first thing of the morning. 6. Be persistent and consistent until your goal becomes your reality. 7. Above all, have fun and enjoy yourself. So there you have it, the secret to visualization and how to achieve your goals. So give it a go and see how it goes for you. What do you have to lose except a few minutes of your time each day? Small price to pay for big results. Remember, it is your brain that is doing all the hard work. You are just directing the show. If you are someone who likes structure or feels overwhelmed by the whole visualization process, then you may want to check out my online shop, which has a morning and night goal achievement audio package, which takes you through the visualization process to activate your brain and achieve your goals. Have fun visioning, and remember the brain cannot tell the difference between what is real and imagined, so why not vision big? It takes the same amount of time and energy to vision small as it does to vision big. However, by all means, put your training wheels on and start small if that feels right to you, but don't stay there. Remember that you have an incredibly powerful brain that is awaiting your command. So ultimately, there are no limits except your imagination. Vision high and fly high.